Welcome back to some new r/malicious compliance stories, where people comply to the letter, but not the spirit of a request. I hope you had a great day. The first story is called Clothes Donation. There's a store in my city where you can bring your unwanted clothes. They will sort through them, buy the ones they like, and give the rest of them back. They also have an option to just drop a bag of clothes off, and you can come back and pick up the ones they don't want later. Or you can just check the box to have them donate whatever is left. A few years ago, I dropped a bag of clothes off and figured I'd go through what they didn't want when I picked up the money, just to see if there was anything I might want to keep before it got donated. When I picked up the cash and took a quick look through the bag, I told the person behind the counter, "Thanks so much. I don't actually want any of these, so they can be donated." She told me that she couldn't donate them, because I hadn't checked the donate box on the form. When I dropped my clothes off, I argued that shouldn't matter, since they donate clothes anyway. So what's the difference? She was adamant that she would not take my clothes for donation. We went back and forth on this for a full minute or so, with both of us getting more annoyed by the other. Eventually, I thought, fine, I'll play your little game. I picked up the bag and said, "Alright, thanks so much," and left the store. 5 seconds later, I walked back in with the exact same bag, saying, "I have a bag of clothes to sell, and I'd just like to donate whatever you don't buy." She looked at me angry and said, "Fine, I'll just donate them. But next time, just check the box on the sheet." I walked out of there with my money and otherwise empty-handed. The next story is called Doctor's Note. My job, which, to be fair, I freaking adore working at, and am so grateful for and happy at, requires a doctor's note, because I've been sick and working from home for 2 days. Now, I haven't just had a minor cold or flu. Several days ago, I came down with the worst flu symptoms you can imagine, and then things started going downhill from there. It got to the point where I have now been to the ER 2 days in a row. It's not great, and despite a whole battery of swabs and tests, the doctors don't know what the underlying problem is. Obviously, there's no way I want to be in the office, so I told HR that I would be working from home until I'm feeling better, since my job can be done 100% remotely. They hit me back with the ever-famous, "If you need to work from home for more than 2 days in a week, you'll need a doctor's note, since it's against policy." My first instinct was to just go into work like this, but I don't want to endanger my colleagues, and I legitimately believe that I would pass out on my walk to work and would have to be taken to the hospital yet again. Instead, I spoke to the ER doctor from earlier this evening, my second visit in as many days. I asked him how long he thought I should work from home, and then told him I needed a note so I could stay home. He had a brief flash of vaguely furious "What the heck?" across his face, at the idea that my job would force someone as sick as I am to come in and risk the health of those around me. Then assured me he would write the note. I was thinking it would just be a basic, "Should continue to work from home until the end of the week." But he wrote a note saying that I should be off of work for at minimum another week, then added the piece de resistance as his last line. This infection requires more time than 2 days to improve. The last story is called Stopped Helping. After I stopped helping other departments, because my direct manager had written me an email telling me to only work on orders and transactions within my department, the other departments fell behind immediately. I'm talking about 12-hour days, 5 days a week. And even then, they couldn't keep the work from piling up and drowning in parts and orders. To be clear, I'm one of about 4 people who has complete access to every part of our inventory and software, making the other departments' work easier for me to do and keep organized. Without the software, each order takes up much more time. Eventually, the facility owner had come in for an unexpected visit and was flustered by the lack of productivity in both other departments in the warehouse. I had just escaped to my new position, which was more comfy and had fewer responsibilities. I was propositioned about returning to help the sinking ship that was my former job. I declined politely, stating, "As long as my old manager is still in that role, I choose to not return." Another month or so of work goes by, and reviews are had, and all sunshine and rainbows for me. I even got a support role with my new manager, being his exclusive intelligence into the inventory software. I got better paid than I already had. I was respected. I made a ton of friends in the department that had my back 100%. Sadly, eventually it got to the point where the warehouse was no longer delivering items to us or any other department, because they were so heavily behind. They asked several times, and I declined all of them as the manager had not changed. It got to the point where I worked 2 of my 10 hours a day and sat around talking to the other 8, waiting for parts or tools to be brought by forklift, which would either never show up or show up at the end of the day. Then last Monday happened. I was called into a meeting, along with all other people who had access to the inventory system and had been at this company for a while. And they told everyone that they were hiring temporary help for a while to fix the mess that had happened. They also explained that the manager that I had problems with decided to resign, and they were going to fill his spot from within, because they wanted someone that was intimate with the information. They hired a guy I thought should have been the manager from the start, and he made leaps and bounds in the warehouse and caught up within the week of being in the new position. Things were looking up finally. He then called me into a meeting and asked me to return to the warehouse at double my current pay, and I would be doing the same thing, but for the whole building. I would have a lot more on my plate, but I would always be busy, and work would feed itself to me through our software, and I would work based on the orders fed directly to me. I accepted, obviously. I no longer had to do an allotted amount of work for the day, and help the whole building whenever the order came through. It's been amazing. Thanks for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please don't forget to leave a like, comment and subscribe. And if you have time, watch another one of my videos. And now, I hope you have a great day. See you soon. Bye bye.